Well, I searched high and low on YouTube to try and find a tutorial on how to make square drop teardrop camper doors, and I didn't really find anything. So I feel like this video might get a few hits, and if it does, you need to remember that I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm making this up as I go, and it's not a follow-along video. It's probably an example of what not to do. But if you want to see my journey through trying to make a camper door, here it is. Well, I have made the decision. I have to get this thing sealed in. I have to get the doors done first, because if I don't have the door hole, then I can't seal the side really, because I'm going to have like a frame that's part of the frame of the camper eventually. But I actually want to build the frame outside and then put it in case there's any reason I have to pull it out again. It shouldn't be too hard. Not sure I'm going to glue this one in, because I've never made doors before, and I'm not sure if they're going to stay in there permanently. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But I do have some hardware for the doors, so we'll go have a look at it and then we'll get stuck into it. Yeah, so when I was in the planning stage of this camper, I ordered these door latches off a really cheap Chinese website, but they seem to be fairly sturdy. I don't know, only time will tell, but they were fairly cheap. Didn't break the budget, that's for sure. But they are deadlocking, so that was the main thing behind it. I want something that could deadlock from the inside, but not from the outside, because I don't want to get trapped in the camper. But the thickness of these allows for the size of the timber I'm going to use for the door, which is sort of perfect, except the door's going to have a skin of plywood on either side. We'll get to that in a sec. But I did also look at the local hardware shop, and I found these hinges in the gate aisle, and they're about the size of my hand. They're really sturdy. They'll be waterproof, obviously, if they, well, not waterproof, but they'll be rust resistant, and black matching hardware, so that'll be cool. So going with the same timber that I've been using, that will be the width of the door, which is 35, and I got some, I think it's 7mm ply on either side I'm going to use to skin the door with, just like that, so you can see if that's the door frame. There's a little bit of space left over here, and what I'm going to do for the door frame is basically this type of thing. And I was playing around with a router, and I actually have routed out a little channel around the side, and if you see up here, I'll put a bit of weather stripping on it. So that's going to be the basics of how the door's going to work. So from the profile of the side, it's going to look something like that, with a bit of overhang which goes across the weather stripping. Something like that. With that inside, and then I'm going to also have on the inside here, I'm going to I've got some, I think I've got 10x10 or 9x9 square dowel. I don't know if you call it dowel if it's square, but that will run the entire length around the inside of the door frame with some more weather stripping on it, so it'll be double sealed. Yeah, so that's my plan for the door frames and the doors. So the doors will be pretty much that thick, and I'm thinking of just building it up with, I'm not sure if I'm going to go completely solid, but it will be a fairly well braced door. Yeah, so the space I actually have to put the door in is 750. I think this one's 745. Somehow it got a little bit shorter on this side. Don't know how, but it happened. Alright, so yeah, 745, and it's 1100 to the top. So I'm thinking I'm actually going to go 1 meter from 1 meter from there. Should go just above the window to about there-ish, I guess, somewhere around there, which will leave enough room up the top to have a strip for a light where I can wire it in from the outside and stuff, something like that. So yeah, if it all goes tits up, and these doors just don't work at all, then last resort I might be able to buy some doors, and I've still got enough room to fit them, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, a nice 1 metre high door should be ample, I think, and the width will be nice. Yeah, so as I'm experimenting, I might make one door at a time. I know it's going to waste a lot of time, but if I do that, if I make a mistake, I'm not making 2 mistakes. So yeah, one door at a time. We'll start with this side, and then if that all works out, we'll make the second. Bought one of these little square thingies. I don't even know what you call them. It's on one of those bargain websites again. Thought I might give it a go, see if I can get this door frame absolutely square. Yeah, that is pretty good, I reckon. I'm going to keep using that method. Yeah, as you might have seen from the last video, I have to just slow down and start doing things properly. I'm making mistakes because I'm rushing, because I'm trying to get it done before the weather comes in and I've only got limited time, or I get in the wrong sleeping pattern, or I'm, you know, going away working and doing all that sort of stuff. So I have to slow down and do it, but I have to get it done quickly, if that makes any sense. But especially on these door frames and on the skin of the camper, I'm going to be paying a lot of attention just to make it look nice, to yeah, get the job done. But I need to move pretty quick while going slowly and taking care. And trying to make video at the same time is not helping. But anyway. that's a really good fit. I'm happy with that. It's nice and square. It's not hard to put in. It's just sitting in there, just sort of pressure mounted at the moment. It's good. Yeah, so I've got this bit on the router. I think it's called a rabbit, rebate rabbit. I don't know. I've heard people say funny names, so I don't know. It's like that anyway. I've got the frame clamped onto the camper. I'm going to use that as a bit of stability while I'm using the router, and we'll see how this goes. And if I mess it up, oh well, start again. Oh, they got pretty messy, but did not a bad job. Yeah, a couple of little bits where I took the tool out and then I tried to put it back in and I hit the frame, so a bit of a gouge there and a little bit down there. But this is all going to be skinned, so it doesn't really matter. So what I need to do now is get a bit of ply that fits in that hole, and then round the corners so it fits in almost snugly, and trace onto the back of it, and we can start building the door frame from that trace, leaving, like, you know, just a shim all around for the door to open and close. I might actually have to bevel one side just a little bit, just a little radius on it, just to get the door to close properly. But yeah, progress. Just measured out the door skin. This guy's been living outside and got a bit dirty and wrecked. A couple of little knot holes and stuff in it, but I think it should be alright. Using this old bad boy to cut it again. So cut should be almost straight. I got the size perfect. It actually fits on there really well. Now I just need to work out how to radius these corners. Well, I have just traced around this 20-cent piece on the corner. I'm going to give it a cut, just at least one corner, and see if it fits properly, and then if that works, well, I'll keep going. The old mate, the jigsaw. Almost. Well, see, now that I've got one on, I can pretty much just visualize it from where the lines are. So if I trace around that and I only take that bit off, it should be just right. Maybe there. I don't have to take that much off. Oh yeah, that one's heaps better. Heaps better. So do the same with the other two corners, and yeah, get that sorted. Actually, I'm not going to be able to get the door to fit properly. I'm going to need to take just a bee stick off that edge. So close. Get that done, and I'll get back to you. that fits real good. Maybe a bit too good, but we'll see. We will see. Not bad. Yeah, so now that's all fitted in, I can turn it over like I have, and I can just draw a border inside now. Be rough about it. Something like that. And that's the measurements I got to work with now for the inside of the door when I take this off. I can start using this as a template to just build the door on top and then put it all together. So as far as doors go, it's going to end up looking something like that. It's going to, I'm thinking of burgundy and black. Probably the same sort of colour as my Pajero. I've got plans for that too, maybe. We'll see what happens. I mean, if it works, is it really stupid? And with a few cuts, we've got the inside of the door, which they go in pretty comfortably. So I should be able to, once they've all tightened up, they should leave a bit of a gap. Once they're all put together, I'll leave a gap top and bottom as well. I might actually get some sort of card or some sort of material to put in there all around, make sure it all fits well before I like really commit to it. But yeah, it's coming along. Just going to go and get the hinges, make sure that I can actually screw them into something. I'm going to have to go and do some research, but if you put the actual bolt over the hinge right on the line that you want to pivot on, I reckon we're not going to be able to make it so much on either side, really. I'm going to have to look into that. If I can put it inside the door a bit or outside the door a bit, then we'll be okay, I guess. But yeah, I've got to try and get these to line up somehow as well. I'm going to go do my hinge research because it's getting dark anyway. Also, where the door handle attaches, I think I'm going to have to go a bit wider here. Put another block in here, maybe one on there, maybe on this side, up and down, both sides maybe. So this is pretty much it, how it's laid out on the inside anyway. But obviously the hinges will be on the outside. That'll be sort of hidden in the door. But yeah, so I've got pretty much the outside and then all these bits inside will get glued together, made into one door. And I guess the cool thing is, if I ever want to put a window, I could probably do that. Probably will never do that. So yeah, making progress on the door. Pretty happy with it so far, and I can't see why it wouldn't work. I'm going to make it work, let's put it that way. Yeah, I'll pick this up next time. I've got to spare 5 minutes. Well, some 22 hours later, and I'm still working on this door. Well, I've done half an hour's work. Let me show you what I've done. So far, I've just put some pocket holes all the way around on the cross bits, which is going to go into these side bits, and just been wedging whatever I can find to maintain a gap around the edge of the door here from the frame, and down this side it's flush and this side's flush. And I'm going to clamp this in the corner here against the bit of ply, so that everything's bunched up into this corner, and I'm going to start gluing here. Then I'm going to clamp it in pocket hole, and then I'm going to work my way down the door on this side. Once that's all in place, I'm going to sort of swap over and start doing this side. And the bits in the middle here, I'm thinking of just gluing them and screwing them from the other side of the ply. Well, that went exactly as planned. So I'm going to do the same for the other side, except I only have to push it one direction that way and then towards this way. And I'll be able to do all of these at the same time with the spaces in, and then I'll work out how I'm going to put these guys in, I guess. Yeah, so usual trick, I've marked it all out where everything's going to be, and I'm going to drill from this side, get some holes so I can screw it in from the other side. And I might even be able to get the hinges on today and have a look at how it opens before I skin the inside and before I put the door latch on. That'll be cool. Sure. Well, I got a couple of cutting discs in each side, except for this side, which is going to be where the hinges are. There's only a single one in there, and as much gap as I can leave on this side, because I think I'm going to have to plane this down anyway to get a little bit of a radius or an angle on there so that it opens up properly. But 2 discs top and bottom for a gap top and bottom, and on that side and on this side. I'm going to put a couple of screws in from the bottom and get that that skin on that door and stand it up. Maybe put a hinge on, a couple of hinges on, see how the door operates. Might even put it on the camper and see what it looks like. pull it open. Place your bets now. It's a door. Certainly is a door. Put it on the camper, eh? I got to see it on the camper. Yeah, there is a little bit of play in the frame. It's sort of twisting a little bit when it's sitting in the door there, because I know this is not exactly square. So when I come to put it in, I'm going to have to really pay attention to how that sits as I'm screwing it in. It's all going to be attached, of course, all around. Yeah, but as a proof of concept, it's a door. It works. These hinges are going to be awesome, and that's doesn't have a lot of rigidity at the moment either, because I only got like one screw in it just to make sure it actually worked. And it's a new day, so we're cracking on with the door. I'll have to cut out the bit for the latch and also glue in the other bits that I didn't do, and decided to go pocket holes again. So here we are with the these bits here all along the edge need to be pocket hole and put in properly, and then I need to cut a hole all the way through the door so that the latch comes in from the bottom or from the outside. And I don't have the latch with me at the moment, but then I might have to actually just like cut just like a shallow channel to get to the edge of here, the way it mounts in. Then it all screws together and sort of pressure clamps itself onto the door. So yeah, I have to work out how to do that, but I think that's the measurement. I'm going to double check after I've glued it in what the actual measurement is, and then I guess either jigsaw or router. Don't know how I'm going to do that, but yeah, it'll be fun finding out. think the best chance I got at this is going to be with a jigsaw, even though I hate jigsaws, but I guess I'm going to drill a hole somewhere in here and then very, very carefully follow these lines through this pocket hole. That line, that line, I don't know, we'll work it out. I'm gonna do the smallest hole and then we'll make it wider if we need to and probably use the router for that. So I have to route a little channel out the front once we get the hole in there, once I work out where it needs to go. And that's why I hate jigsaws. It's that's shit. But we'll try and fix that up. We'll get that fixed up somehow. I think what the plan is here is to straighten up this edge first. I've clamped a bit of wood down just here and I've checked it at both ends to make sure that it's the same distance, and I'm just gonna clean up that edge in there and we'll reset that and do the other edges until this guy, basically all those screw holes have to fit in. That whole assembly has to fit in somehow. Yay. Got the old straight bit on the router, but unfortunately it's not very long, so I'm gonna have to do this side and then I'm gonna have to do like a flush trim bit from the other side to make it all square. But we'll see how we go here. Have to start in the middle. This will be interesting. Well, I think I've got the right size hole on this side now. I just need to flip it over and use the flush trim bit, I think they call it, to get the other side. Alright, got the flush trim bit with the little bearing at the bottom there. I think I've set it at the right depth. That's as much depth as I can get pretty much, so see how it goes. So with this particular latch, I either need to cut a pocket through the door from here and sort of countersink it just a little bit, which ain't gonna happen, of course, or I have to make a little channel that's that width that will go right up to the edge, in the right spot, of course. And the hard part of that is working where to put it and how deep to go. So this is going to take a while. First of all, I need to measure up. Once this goes in, so that fits in quite nicely. Down at that edge at the back is the wiggle room, and that's how much the Duvalaki hangs out, which looks right to me, but we can always scooch back once if it doesn't fit, but it has to come in from the bottom. That does it. I can probably dismantle that whole latch to get that in. believe I can. Let's do that now, and I'll see if the handle actually fits in the hole properly, and then I might be able to even get some sort of measurement off this plate at the top. Maybe not. Nah, because that's all one bit. That won't all come apart. Let me think about this. Alright, so holding it underneath, I can see where it's supposed to go. And if that's... Alright, and then I'll square those lines around. I did buy the tiniest square I could find online for just such an occasion. And up there. Yep. Whew. It does not leave a whole lot of meat on that frame, but see how we go. Yep. Always start there, and if we need to go wider, we can. But, can I do that? And then can I do top? I might go top first. See how that goes. Yep, sometimes old methods are the best methods, I guess. Until they're not. No. This is fun. This bit's fun. I'm enjoying this. You know what? Is this glue dry yet? If I take that bit out, I can put this in. Come out. Oh, look at that. Maybe I'll just get in like that. Nope. Why aren't you coming out? There we go. Oh. So glad that glue wasn't dry. So, fitting this will be easier, I guess. I'm on target. I just need to make that shallower. I think I could have been more accurate with the chainsaw. I think goes in pretty well now. Nice. Really nice. Oh yeah, I think the camera cut out last time, but that's what we got. That's the fit of it. Once this is on, you won't be able to see any of the mistakes. That'll be awesome. And I guess I have to now try and countersink this somehow. That way. So I might just trace around it real quick and see what we can do about that. Alright, I'm going to attempt to take some of this out with a chisel. I've never done this before. See how it goes. Oh, that's it. Looks like it. Well, I have been wrestling with it for a little while. It doesn't look bad from the outside. There's some adjustment that needs to be done. I'm glad I didn't get this bit in, and that I'm going to be able to do that later. I really did butcher the inside of it. As you can see, there's angles that aren't straight and whatever. That's the inside of it, not a big deal. This part needs to have a little bit of trim around it, so because if I push this too far in, it makes this skew-if, and then not good at all. But here's the problem. Problem is, this guy's going to be sitting like that, and to get out, you got to pull this lever, and what's going to happen is you're going to get to a certain point, and if you pull too hard, the handle flips over, and basically you get stuck in, because there's only this tiny little lever here that has to drag on that. So once you've set it up, I might have to screw it together and actually see if it's the case, but pretty sure I could clamp it, I guess. Yeah, I'll get some clamps, we'll test it. No, I'll just hold it here. Could screw it together. Let's screw it together. Let's do a proper test. Well, no, now it's all screwed together and I've got the correct spacing and stuff. It seems I would have to really pull on that to get it to spin around. So, hey, I won't be able to put it on the outside of the ply. I'll have to cut around the ply, but that's the if that's the worst thing I've got to do, that's fine. So yeah, a bit more messing around with this bit of wood here, and I'll be able to bash this in, and then I'll be able to screw it. And it won't even matter if there's a little bit of a gap there, because it'll be covered in ply on both sides. So yeah. And it's another day, and this video has gone on for about 47 minutes and 30 seconds, give or take a few seconds, that is. Yeah, still got things to do. I've got to get that door lock fitted in properly. The skin from the outside, I need to cut a hole in it so that the latch fits through the hole. I've got to trim up the bit that goes in the back of the latch so that that won't make it twist as I put that on. Maybe make a skin for the front, maybe get that latch mounted in, and also put the hole in the door frame where it all connects up. But I think I might need to do that once I get the, well, I've ordered some trim and I'm waiting for the trim to come in to go around the door, which has some weather stripping on it as well. And hopefully, because I ordered one a long time ago when it came in, it was completely different to what they had in the picture. Hopefully this time I get the right stuff, otherwise I'm just throwing money away again. In which case I'm going to have to go down to Clark Rubber and buy the proper stuff. Let's do it anyway and get this door finished. Alright, first thing I've really got to do is just take the edge off here to make the door latch fit a little bit better, and that way it'll stay square when I put it in. And that's the result. I gave it just a little tickle with the jigsaw. Didn't actually cut into it. I was just like going sideways across it just to chip little bits out. Seems to have done the job, and I didn't make any mistakes for once. And now you can see from this side it's really square and tight. So I need to get the skin back onto this side of the door and cut around there. Yeah. I have an idea of how I'm going to do it too. Alright, with the skin on and traced around there, and I'll take the skin off again. I'm going to be able to just take that out with a hacksaw. Then I'm going to put this bit in that, and then that should be the perfect template to trace around the outside. It's a bit convoluted, but yeah, it'll work. And I thought this was going to be simple. Problem being, even on this bit of ply, you just can't mount the handle straight in. It has to go in that way first and then go down. So what I'm going to have to do is, judging from this line here, I'm pretty sure is the edge where this comes up to. Pretty sure, or am sure? Pretty sure. It's going to be up that way though. Let's try and line that up, and I've traced around where the door handle's going to go, and I think I might be able to just cut really close to it and just get that in, and then use it as a template from the other side, because that's what I don't want to go too wide. This has got to fit perfectly. These handles, by the way, are a pain in the ass. If that collar came off from the rest of this stuff, it'd be easy. But no, that's one molded piece that doesn't come apart. Especially this part. If that part came off, this whole tongue here came off, it would be easy. Ah well, we got what we got, and we've got to work with it. Now it fits. And at this point I know what you're thinking. You're just like, why don't you just surface mount it on the door? Well, here's why. Because once it's in, there's just no space between the latch and the plywood at all. So that has to be sunk into it. Yeah. If I had to do it again, I probably would not use these door latches, is what I'm trying to say. Except that I have to make another door, and I've already got the latch. Which brings the next problem, is I can't get this in there because it's too thick. So I can't trace around it. Damn. So, how am I going to do this? I ain't going to go in there. I don't have like a perfect hole. Only one real solution. Right, I've done some measuring and some squaring, and I think this is the lines I've got to use now. I'm going to try and use a router and some sort of guides, clamps and bits of wood and all sorts of stuff to try and route out this. I'm going to use a fairly big bit that's got quite a big radius on it. Wish me luck. Alright, so what I have decided to do is make this template that I'm going to be able to clamp down to this, and then from the other side I'll be able to use a trim bit, flush trim bit from the other side to be able to take that out down those two sides, and then I'll flip it around and I'll do the same on this edge. And that's the best I can do, I think. So yeah, got that clamped in place. I'm only going to be able to do one edge at a time because the clamps get in the way, of course. Let's have a go. Okay. Battery. Of course. What else would it be? Let me have a look. I'm not going to say it completely hit the mark, but man, I can't see too much light through that. It's, I think it's just right. Oh. I was that far off. Just like a bee's dick across there. And there's a bit of a gap there, but that, when I come to actually put something on this face, it might actually fill in anyway. But put a drip rail around it or something, some sort of trim to hide it. Not that I want to hide it. Just need to take that little bit more off. And this is what it's going to look like assembled. So I actually did get it in there. I might need to take just another little slither off there, because when I come to cover this, I want the skin to literally go in to that hole, so that there's like a waterproof barrier, because no longer waterproof if there's a big hole in it. Yeah, but it does fit quite nicely, I must say. And maybe I can use this door as a template for the other door when it gets to that time. I can just use this as a routing template, or make a routing template out of this. That'd be even better. But yeah, I do need to cover these doors, and I need to get the edge trim that's going to go around here and become like a weather seal as well. So waiting on that. I think that's as far as I can go. So before I go and build the back, what I should do is try and dismantle this door and make sure that I can actually mount the lock with the front skin on, because if I can't do that, yep. Now I know why people buy doors instead of trying to build them themselves, because this is a real pain in the dick. Well, I really am starting to understand why people don't build their own doors. Here's what I've got. Once the door is assembled, and it's going to be skinned on the other side with poor man's fiberglass, and it's going to come up and around the edges here, which is not a... Well, it has to at least tuck into this. You can't see it from this side. Maybe you can see it from this side. Yeah, needs to tuck into this lip here. And then same on this side. When I put that bit in, it has to also do that around there. But I can't have this in when I'm mounting the lock. So once the lock's in, then this bit has to go in over the top. I can't move it, it's a bit tight. There you go. Lock's fallen out again, because this just does not fit in with that piece in. But the problem is, once it's put together, this whole inside here is going to be not waterproof because of the bit that has to go in there. You'll see now there's daylight through that hole. So I think I've worked out why people don't build their own doors now, especially with those door handles, and everyone's probably done the same thing that I have. You've seen the camper teardrop doors for sale online, you've looked at the handles and gone, hey, I can get those for $30 and I can just build my own door, it'll be fine. Yeah, not so fine. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to get some canvas for some poor man's fiberglass. I'm going to completely finish this door, including waterproofing and putting it all together and seeing how that goes. And if it all works well, I can build the other door. If not, I have to rethink either door handles or buying doors, because I can still fix this door with another door handle, I'm pretty sure. But hey, I don't have the trim for the doors yet either. So this episode's been really, really long. Thanks for hanging around, guys. We'll pick it up with doors next time, and see you next time.
Are you telling me that this is it? This is scenery? Have you ever been to Stonehenge?